Hey Mark.
Hey Justin, what's up?
Oh, I'll tell you what, the fires in California. So
Oh, right.
yeah, so our cousins live just by the Bobcat fire, which is like one of the largest fires in California history. And they're under evacuation, so they're living with us. So we now have
Wow.
three kids, three cats, four adults in our house that is only really designed for one family. So um,
Whoa.
there might be
It's
kids, any number of kids running in at any time. It's been very difficult to actually find a place to record this.
wow. Well, thanks for going to the effort.
Sure.
And that sounds wild. So did they lose their house?
No, no, it's they're sort
They
of
just had to leave for safety.
yeah, it's an evacuation warning. So it's if the fire was it sort of looks like the map of Australia when you look at it from above, the shape of the fire. But
Uh-huh.
they're like one town over, but it's I think it's a very very significantly sized fire, and they're
Wow.
just yeah, it's like
Wow.
yeah, very significant. But we'll see. See, hopefully they'll
That
be good.
is that is quite the news. I've
Yeah.
also had a pretty eventful week. I've survived my first substantial spammer war.
Oh,
So
really?
that may be why you see some bags under my eyes. Yep,
Oh,
yep.
let's hear all about it.
Well, I refuse until we go over our goals.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
that's
our
where I like to
goals.
start.
What was our goals?
Uh, Yours were 5 days a week of exercise, more progress on Slider,
Hmm.
and to continue tweeting about Nugget, which I think you said was like your main marketing push for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so let's just see how
And
badly I did on my goals,
all right,
and then we'll go into your goals.
all right.
So I didn't do 5 days a week of exercising because of the family moving in.
And the air
It's
is
just
probably not good either.
no, the air's fine here. They've moved into our place,
Okay.
so we're not near the fire. But it just doesn't feel appropriate to jump on that trampoline in front of all those people. It's just very strange. So it's a privacy-based exercise, the rebound. Um, then the tweeting, I stopped. I guess I didn't. I haven't been following through on that because I got so stuck into Slider, which I have made a lot of progress on.
Well, that was your first non-exercise goal you mentioned, so
Yeah.
good deal.
So okay, that's me.
Um, I had one to look into that weird duplicate subscription issue I was getting with Stripe,
Oh yeah.
and I put in a few guards that basically just check to see if any subscriptions exist for a customer, and I haven't seen any more problems since.
Oh nice, nice.
Um, Two was to keep working on my screencasts. I did publish 3 videos in my premium series on Absinthe GraphQL,
Great.
and I put out one free one on Ecto because I'm doing like kind of a free series at the same time as a premium one, so the YouTube channel doesn't just go dead for like a month or two. And that one did really well because of a new way that I did it. And then I also got some work done on Phoenix Igniter. I updated it to Phoenix 1.5. I set up one of those live view dashboards like I did for the Reactor site,
Yeah.
and I did one other thing for it too. I forgot what it was. It wasn't UI components, but I put in like a decent set of updates and
Well, it's
tweeted
worth
that.
mentioning that this
So
is 2 weeks
yeah,
after our last episode. So
it's true.
we've had 2 weeks. So that has given Mark a chance to do a lot of stuff. And even though it sounds like I haven't done very much, I have done a lot on Slider. But Mark has obviously done better with his 2 weeks than I did with mine.
Well, for the Phoenix Igniter, especially, like that was the thing that was like I was like, I really need to do some work on this for like a
Yeah,
month straight. And I hadn't at all. So, going from nothing to something is good at least.
that is yeah, that's huge.
So um
Nicely done.
yeah, I'm happy about pretty much all of it except the screencast production rate. I wanted to get more done, but
You are the man.
there's always another try. Well, my business forces me to be. So it's like it's not a nice little SaaS where I can just let it go on autopilot. I've got to keep on making content. So You want to hear about the spammers now, or should we
Sure,
delay
yeah.
that? Okay.
No, do not delay.
So
No
I
delay.
got this email from Amazon. It was like email delivery failure, and I see one of those very occasionally. So I didn't think much about it. And then I got another one, and then I got a complaint. Someone had reported it as spam, and I was like, "This is only transactional emails. Like, what's going on?" And I looked in the app, and I had over 100 users created in the last hour, and the addresses looked like they were real people. So
Which
the
app?
best for Alchemist Camp,
So Alchemist Camp can send email. It's got email plugged into it.
it's got transactional emails. So
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
the failed delivery and the spam complaint were all of those were for the welcome email. So it's like just an email I send to everyone when they sign up and say like, hey, welcome, glad you signed up. Here are a couple of links for details. Here's what you need to do if you want a password reset, stuff like that. So I looked into my access logs on the server, and I just like kept an open tail of them grepping for like the route that would create a user, and I saw it was like the same IP address doing it again and again and again.
Wait. This is hacking, not just spamming.
No hacking, just spamming.
What? Okay.
Because they're using my sign up, right? They're
Okay.
signing up and creating new users, but I can see I can see information about anyone that does any request to anything on the server. So I
So
was,
why?
well, that's a good question. It's pretty weird because they weren't, like there wasn't a clear path, and they weren't like commenting, everywhere and putting links to their site or something like that. Some of the usernames were names like Payday Loan Now or stuff like that. But then a lot of them were just like very, very normal, and I'm pretty sure they were like real people's email addresses that had been, stolen somewhere. So anyway, I just set up a rule to block that IP address completely,
Okay.
and then all of it stopped, and then about 5 minutes later, I started getting another one, and then another sign up, and then another one.
Oh my gosh.
And I looked into it more. It looks like it was all from Denmark, which seemed a little weird. And then I saw it was like all of the IP addresses were coming from, or they were all OVH boxes. And OVH is one of those unmetered bandwidth services. It's actually really good if you're running like a game server or something where you need a lot of bandwidth. It's very low cost, much cheaper than like DigitalOcean. So like that's the kind of thing you might use if you're going to do a lot of scraping or spamming or something. So I shut that down, and then I thought like, okay, so this is
When you say shut that down, what does that mean?
I blocked that IP address also.
Okay.
And then
So second IP address.
Yeah, but then that was only like good for another minute, and then I realized, well, one, they were signing up the form faster than any normal human would. So it's like if you're, all these things I did were like very kind of standard, but if you're filling out, if you're like putting your email address and your username and agreeing to the terms of service and filling out the whole sign up form in 2 seconds, you're probably a bot.
It's the first time I've ever heard a good reason for a captcha.
Well, I don't want a captcha because I hate them as a user, first of all.
Yeah.
And second of all, I don't have any AdSense or any Google anything on the site other than YouTube videos on the pages with YouTube
Can I just
videos.
do a quick sidebar about captchas?
Sure.
Why, when you sign up to, I don't know, a payment form, like on the plane, why do they put a fucking captcha when you're signing up to Boing Boing Wireless? It makes no fucking sense.
Oh, I don't know.
Like,
I mean, it's
it's like how can you get a anyway? Sorry,
I have yeah. There's like I have a lot of comments about captchas.
Okay, let's talk about
But anyway,
Yeah.
I set up a check to see if they're like filling out the form faster than you reasonably could, and
Okay.
then I was like, okay, am I getting the same request Like it basically is the same IP address creating multiple users within a short period of time. And after I put that rule in, I was like, okay, I've got a minute to think, like what's going to be the next thing. And so I looked into some libraries that help people with this stuff. There's one Ruby gem for Rails servers called Invisible CAPTCHA, and it has a lot of things it does. And I looked in some other libraries. I thought, okay, I should like look at user fingerprinting, like just for the purpose of like the seeing what user agent the spammer is using. And I started working on that, and it turned out like just what I'd already done was enough of a hassle that the spammers gave up. Like they probably just, they probably just had a long list of sites that they were just algorithmically trying. It was clearly bot driven signups, and it like mine was more work than it was worth at that point.
But why? Is it because I'm guessing that it's a sort of grooming activity? So they first of all posting to you, getting into lots of people's inboxes, and then because they get into people's inboxes, then they might send from your server at some point in the future. Maybe it's like a two-step hack.
They couldn't, so they couldn't send from my server, but maybe they were hoping the username itself had linkable URLs, because some of the usernames were URLs, and they didn't link to. They had zero spam value because like the user page is invisible to everyone but the user, and those URLs go to the user profile, not to like what the username looks like it would be if it were a URL. Like if your username is like http dot / paydayloannow.com, then you're not like if you click that on my site, it's not going to take you to that link. It's going to take you to your user profile. So there was no spam value, but maybe they were hoping there was, and maybe they're also just testing to make like just to see if those emails are valid.
Oh, but how could they see that?
That's a good question. It's really strange. Like, or maybe the goal was just see like, is this service pretty vulnerable? If so, after we've got 80,000 signed up, then we'll see, if there's a way to comment or,
That's what I was thinking. Like, so maybe it's like a grooming thing where they're just sort of testing a server, seeing what they can get away with, and then it's like, oh yeah, then I'm going to try and hack into the server itself at a later stage.
I don't think they would try to hack into the server itself. I mean, I'm not saying no one would. I just don't think this specific thing was that. This to me looked like it was more like people that create spam accounts on Reddit or on Hacker News or on like Indie Hackers or like any forum where you can post
service
content.
is a completely random. It's a completely random. You've done it your own way. You've built it yourself. Service.
Right.
So that makes no sense.
Well, it's not that unique to have a route that's like /users/new.
Okay.
And it's not that unique to have like a route that's like /signup or something like that. I think it's if you've got a route /signup and there's a sign up form on it, like some bot's going to try to sign up.
Well, I guess we probably won't be able to speculate as to why, but I'm sure that of our 4 listeners, one of them will have a good idea, and we'll probably get some great comments about it.
Could be. I saw we got a comment on YouTube again last time, which kind of like on one hand, I was like, oh, that's great. That's gonna be an engagement sign to their algorithm. On the other hand, I was like, I want them to comment on reactor.am. Comment on our site.
Reactor.am.
Yes, comment on reactor.am.
You'll never forget your first comment on reactor.am.
Yes. But don't sign up with a fake account, please.
Oh.
Don't make hundreds of accounts.
That wasn't happening on the Reactor website anyway.
No, it wasn't. No.
Yeah.
It was not. So so after the figuring out what was going on and stopping it, then I've just had to write a bunch of emails to Amazon saying what happened, and I'm not a spammer, don't shut down my site, these were transactional emails and all that.
Yeah.
So, other news is I got an iPad.
What?
You hear
Why?
about the new iPads?
No, I did not.
Well, they're not. I mean, the normal iPad line isn't updated much at all.
Okay.
But like the cheapest iPad, which is what I got, the $329 one.
Yeah.
That is a way better drawing tablet than the Wacom tablet I had several years ago. It's like not
Oh, I
even
can
close.
believe it. Yeah. Okay.
Like the pencil is fantastic, and
Mhm.
I've been I've been using it for journaling because I've been using like a physical notebook for a long time. I've been using it for making sketches. So that one free video I made was talking about the Ecto database library, and I just put some drawings of the three circles with the lines for database, and a user, and then a user getting buried by data, and just a few different drawings. And that video is like double or more than double the watch time of my typical video, and it's only 4 minutes long.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
YouTube is like, oh, people like this one. It's like actively sending people to it. So
Interesting.
I think
What kind of
it
things
was
do you
a
draw on it?
fantastic buy. Well, let me screen share. Actually, this should be. Oh, you know what? I don't have any drawings shared to my iPad or from my iPad
Oh, okay.
to my computer. I've just got my notes, which some of which I think are maybe some good content for
You could
today.
fast forward to a point in the video.
But yeah, I'll just throw in a video. I'll throw in a clip with some drawings. So yeah, I've done some like just drawing training because I haven't I used to draw a ton like 10 years ago, but I haven't recently. So to fill up the page with circles and then like big circles and then draw smaller circles between the big circles. Done that, and then some
Okay.
like brush pressure sensitivity training, just like draw thick strokes that get thin and then thick, and then next to it do another line where it's kind of the inverse of it, so it looks like the whole page is full of waves.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
yeah, but I think what would be good for me, since I'm doing YouTube now, is unfortunately it's the kind of drawing I can't do. Like I can draw a pretty realistic looking face, like good enough that people recognize whose face it is, but I can't draw like any comic style stuff. Like I just don't. I never learned how to abstract that well for drawing. So I'm going to work on that a bit. I mean, not going to go crazy, but I think just some little doodles here and there could help both the videos and the articles, to be honest. So
Okay.
yeah, I give the iPad a double thumbs up.
Sweet. That
Yeah,
sounds cool. And
yeah.
so it's yeah, I might have a look into that myself because I'm always looking for a good way to take notes and share ideas. Like that's one thing that the computers like kind of suck at. I wondered, would a pencil like that work on like a Mac trackpad? I wonder if
I don't know, maybe, but it's a
it's not a very big size or
I
whatever.
don't know. Yeah, so the thing that I've experienced so far, I've only had it for about a week.
Yeah.
It's the amount of stuff you can put into a UI where you have a hand and a pencil is pretty impressive because it's I got this like $10 app called Procreate, and it's better than Photoshop was for me before because
Oh
it's
wow.
like I can be drawing with one hand, and if I need to undo something, I just tap two fingers and boom, it undoes something. And I can also put two fingers on the Apple Notes and like move my fingers to put a ruler on the page and like draw a straight line. And there's just
Wow.
so many, tap four fingers to go full screen. There's just
That's
so
cool.
many
Yeah,
cool
there's a lot you
things you
can
can
do like
do.
that with gestures and
Um,
stuff.
yeah, I'm gonna share the screen really quickly
Yeah, too.
and just throw in
I'd
or
love to see that.
show some notes.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I better share the whole screen so we don't accidentally get it
Yeah.
cut off.
Cool.
So these are some handwritten notes I did. I've been doing the
Nice.
James Altucher idea muscle recently, like
Okay.
his idea muscle training. So it's like 10 ideas about something.
Hmm.
So I came up with a list of 10 one-off launchable products that I could do, or products that I could do that would be like launchable within the week. As you can see, it's all written in cursive, and this is searchable. Like if I wrote it in iPad Notes, I can search for like any word that I wrote in here, and it can find it.
Let's see that.
I can't do that because
Oh,
I'm
it does it on
sharing
the
the
iPad.
desktop
Okay.
screen.
Got it. Yeah.
Well, maybe what the heck?
Try it. See what happens.
I'll try searching for monitor. It doesn't seem to. So,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, it also doesn't work if you take a picture. Like it works if you wrote it there.
Okay.
So here is an example of like me writing things at different sizes and different colors, and it's just
Yeah, it's
convenient.
really good.
So
I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I would just do on a computer anyway. I'm sort of thinking about mock-ups and stuff like that. That's why I would use it.
okay, yeah. So the notes that I wrote that I was or like kind of the idea generation stuff that I wrote that I was interested in sharing with you were in two buckets. One was one-off products launchable this week, and I came up with several. And then one was ways to get Alchemist Camp over 20K MRR.
Ooh,
Because
exciting.
it's kind of, well, I think it's like growth has been slow enough. I need to start shifting from focusing on exploiting what I already have to like broader exploration and see what bigger things I might be missing.
Yeah,
So we can
nice.
go over either of those if you are interested and willing to give feedback or comments.
Sure, I saw that. I like the number matrix. That's a lot like how I put the price point stuff in the boot camp, just showing how just the multipliers. Like you've got there two by 10,000. Sorry, no, 10,000 by two. That does not. You don't want 10,000 people at $2. I don't think.
All right. Well, let me reshare my screen then. Let's
Yeah,
go over this one.
yeah.
I have. There we go. Is it shared?
Not right now. Yes.
Okay. So this one I came up with a lot of ideas. So I was looking at what could I sell 10,000 times at $2? What could I sell 4,000 times at $5? 20 times at 1,000, and up to higher and higher prices until eventually it's like something that costs thousands of
10,000.
dollars that you just
10,000
sell.
to sell to two people. Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So the $2 a month ideas I had was maybe I could do like a $2 ebook. Now that's not really recurring though, so it doesn't quite fit. Or maybe access to the last 5 videos only, like just a very minimal subscription. A deployment tool, maybe that fit in. Maybe subscription ebook, which that one's kind of interesting to me.
But
Like
just hold on a second. Access. Just hold on a second. Before
access
you
to a repo. Yeah.
access to the last 5 videos,
Yeah.
selling 10,000 to 10,000 people at $2 a month. It doesn't make sense as a business strategy for the same reasons that I outlined in the bootcamp, which is basically if you can get 10,000 people to be customers at $2, then you've massively increased your surface area and everything. Like you're doing ridiculously well, and you might as well just focus 100% on exactly what you're doing at the price point you're already doing it, because it's going to be way easier to get 1,000 people at $20 a month than it is to get 10,000 people at $2 a month. You're already doing the right thing.
It's
Just
it's
marketing.
possible. Well, this was just throwing out. This is just throwing out like very unexplored ideas, and it was actually hard for me to come up with something that I could charge $2 a month for. Like maybe access to a Discord or something. If I did sell any of these things for $2 a month, it would probably be like
Wait, is this
it,
is this
it'd be a
confined?
tripwire.
Is this confined to Alchemist Camp, or is this
Yeah,
just
it
anything?
would have to be something I could do on Alchemist Camp.
Yeah.
So this would be like a tripwire to, because once someone changes from like just audience into I have spent money and paid it to somebody, it's like I think there's a big psychological shift.
anything with, I mean, anything with over 1,000 people is quite problematic because of the niche.
That's a good point. Like it would be a lot easier if it were something else. If it were like a um, I don't know, like a weight loss ebook or something, where most humans in the world would have a good chance of being interested. So I came up with some more at like $5 a month, which were pretty similar. $20 a month, getting 1,000 customers is interesting to me because I'm charging about $20 a month now. So all of these ideas were just really like, what can I do to like grow the heck out of the top of the funnel?
Yes, this is where to focus. Throw away everything else.
Well, believe it or not, your advice a couple weeks ago is part of why I thought of this whole exercise.
Right. Go on then.
Because you were talking. Well, we'll see. Let me go through a couple of these.
Okay.
Um, so 10x a YouTube channel by recording daily, or by teaching JavaScript,
Yeah.
by doing a podcast tour,
Mm-hmm. Oh
writing
yeah.
a book
Nice.
for Manning, just to get like a whole bunch of people clicking in from a reputable source.
Wait, what's Manning?
Manning is probably the second or third biggest tech book publisher.
Mm. Mm.
They're, I think of the ones I like, I really only consider buying books from three sources, really. Either like my top choice would be No Starch Press. Number two is probably Pragmatic Programmers. And then three, or maybe tied with two, is Manning.
That'd be hard to hyperiterate. What's number 5 there?
Doing a tour of guest YouTubing. So go on other people's YouTube channels
Mm.
and talk with them. Like, maybe find someone teaching something adjacent, like they're teaching CSS, or they're teaching
Mm.
blockchain or something like that.
Okay.
Then I had a few $50 a month ideas. They were all premium tiers. And this is basically what you'd come up with, your $99 a month idea of premium tier with chat support.
Got it. Yep. Yep.
Or with weekly office hours, I thought about.
Mm-hmm. I like
Or
that.
maybe like have some code that I've written, like my ConvertKit wrapper library and the Typeform integration for like how I run a lot of the marketing on Alchemist Camp. Maybe like just access to those repos as well as the other stuff could make a higher tier.
400 still a big number of people though.
It is.
To sell that too.
Well, to be clear, I am nowhere near 20K a month MRR right now. So all of these, every single one of these options I'm looking at, it's kind of like, that's a lot, Then I was looking at like even more premium stuff, maybe, Greenfield app dev as a service, where I'm using my own starter kit and templates and things. And then maybe like the ultimate, like the ultra premium tier would be part-time CTO as a service.
For the life of me, I can't understand why you don't, and I mentioned this before, use, because you're obviously very skilled at blogging and getting lots of people to a blog via Hacker News. So clearly that's a superpower that you've got. I don't understand why you don't do what I describe as building the market and basically get people into Elixir. And you're the person, the spearhead person, who gets people super interested in Elixir for all the different reasons that why it's amazing. They read your blog post and then they're like, oh yeah, shit, I really want to level up my career with Elixir. And then they go, oh, wait a second, this guy's the reason why I want to do that. And he teaches it. Yeah, I'm going to start watching him.
So I thought about this a little bit because one of my French buddies, not the one I usually mention, but a different French buddy out here, asked me about submitting some of his stuff to Hacker News because he was like, "Hey, I saw your in like our our group chat. I saw you submitted like your last 3 or 4 posts, and they all got to number 2 on Hacker News. Like, can you submit one of mine?" And thing is, like, the reason they're doing well is because I've written them with that audience in mind, including the topic.
Yeah.
And I can't, I mean, even if I change a title, I can't really take a post about any old thing and make it do well on Hacker News or anywhere. And to do really well posting stuff for a niche language like Elixir, it almost has to be either A, an update about the language itself or a major library or something like LiveView, or B, it's got to be from a company that's like doing big things with it. So it's like if I write something that just like go Elixir, I can't get traction with it.
Well,
I mean, I've tried that. I had like my first post on my site was basically that.
Well, what about so that's a quite a binary answer. What about the in between, which is we brainstorm like 20 ideas, 20 blog ideas around Elixir that could get people super interested in it. Because I mean, there's so many interesting aspects to it that is not just, I mean, yes, it's kind of like yay go Elixir, but it's just interesting too. Like the threading, like how many people you can get on one server. Like I I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I know that if we brainstorm back and forth, we could probably come up with 20 very fascinating and interesting titles just
I think
about
it
Elixir.
is. Yeah, I think maybe some just very very like broad thing. I saw one do well recently that was like um, moving from TypeScript to Elixir, and this guy like wrote all about what was easy for him, what was hard, what was confusing, what he didn't like.
But like you could say something like, okay, with Elixir, you could serve you it could have a title of something like this. With Elixir, you could serve 2 million people for a cost margin of $10 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be
Yeah,
something that's like, whoa, you could do that with Elixir? Like that's really kind of useful and interesting to people, you know, like from a business point of view, I think that kind of thing could be interesting potentially.
yeah. Well, I'll keep up the idea muscle practice. Just brainstorming 10 ideas about a different thing every day, and get better at it. And then maybe I'll leveling up on that way will help me find the perfect intersection of interesting to Hacker News and useful for Alchemist Camp posts.
What was your favorite thing out of those out of that list of the different price points that you just showed me?
Oh, well, I didn't have one single favorite. I did
Hmm.
like your idea of the premium tier with chat support.
Okay.
I also kind of liked the office hours idea where I have like maybe 2 hours a week, the same day every week,
Hmm.
where people can just drop in to like a group video chat or group, whatever, probably video chat, and ask for help with stuff.
Is that public? So is that a
That would
marketing
no, that
tool in
would
its
that
own right?
maybe it could be, but it wouldn't have to be. Like I could have it be totally private and then make it public later, or could go lots of ways.
Could that
I
be something
think
that could be like just as a marketing type concept? Um, hey, let's tune into the Mark Show every week.
well that is actually pretty popular. Like people do like
Oh, they do?
a live stream, like Ask Me Anything, or like uh, I see a lot. I don't see much on YouTube like that, but on Twitch, I see a lot of people that are like, "Hey, just like let's make a landing page together, or let me critique your uh, your new startup idea," kind of thing.
Okay, that's awesome.
So I do kind of like the office hours. I would be inclined towards uh, probably recording all the videos and making them only available to the people paying the super premium level, because I mean
Mm. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
definitely want them to feel like they're getting their money's worth.
Okay. Because and some people might not ask something if it's public.
Exactly. I also kind of like some of the ones I had at the $20 a month, like um,
I like the
doing
podcast tour.
doing. Oh, interesting. Okay, I like the YouTube tour more.
Yeah, I like that, but I like that both of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like just trying to make videos daily. If I can do that, I think that might that might that might change everything. And then finally, I like a lot of stuff. I like the ebook idea. Like that's really interesting to me for some reason. Just like this living book that you pay subscription access to.
Oh, I didn't get it. Yeah, that is interesting.
It's like yeah, it's like here's my ebook on how to set up say if it were like GraphQL with Elixir, which is the series I'm doing now. What if that whole thing were just like an ebook that's like 50 pages on like setting everything up, and you just pay $2 a month for as long as you want it, and I
Oh,
keep it updated forever.
I know how you could do that. So you couldn't do that as a subscription, but you could do that the way that I've set up Nugget, which is basically it's to say, okay, there is a finite amount of payments for this. It has a price point, and when you've paid X number of payments, then you've paid it off. So you could go ahead and say 24 payments of $2,
Oh,
which is essentially the same thing as having someone's subscribing for 2 years.
interesting.
But from their point of view, they won't be thinking, oh, this is a subscription. They'll be thinking, oh, I'm buying this for $50 over 2 years.
Yeah, that would be painful for me though. Like I know you have like the same dynamic regardless of whether if you're breaking up a bigger thing or if you're just taking a subscription each month, but knowingly inflicting that high a percentage of my money going to payment fees, like that would be tough.
Wait, well, what would?
Well, Stripe charges, what do they charge?
But what
Like
were you thinking with your $2 a month
30
subscription
cents
idea?
plus 5%. Oh, well, I was thinking like, I don't know how many months are going to stay. Therefore, and they don't either. Therefore, there are a lot of people that'll like throw down $2 that would not have been willing to throw down 48.
But what I'm saying is, you'll be the same amount of Stripe fees would be going either way, right?
Right. But it might be a much, much bigger top of funnel. It's
Oh,
hard to say
if
though.
it's just $2,
Yeah.
if it's a $2 subscription.
Yeah. It's hard to say.
No, you just okay, yeah,
Here's a question. Here's a
yeah.
question. So like regardless of the amount of money, how like in general, like it's harder to sell a subscription than it is a one-off fee.
Yeah.
But if the one-off is big enough, then that's not true anymore. Like how many months worth of monthly subscription big does a one-time fee have to get before it's actually harder to sell?
Well,
So it's like $10 a month is as hard to sell as $100, $200.
I don't know. I've got 3 price points right now on the academy right now, and basically,
Mm-hmm.
I pitch it as getting to lifetime alumni. And so at this particular moment in time, it's $500 one-time payment, it's
Mm-hmm.
$123 6 payments, or it's $47 20 payments. And basically, it's approximately 50% of the people choose the $47. 50% choose the one-time payment, and then a couple of stragglers choose an in-between, like 6 payments of
Interesting.
123.
Sorry. What's the what are the amounts again?
It's
It's 500
500,
total,
500,
or
there's 500. So basically the idea is you're working toward, you're going to get lifetime alumni. And so
Mhm.
if you are a lifetime alumni, you are then entitled to updates for all the platform for forevermore. So it's basically lifetime. And the 3 price points, one price point is $500. That if you pay $500 now, you just instantly get lifetime alumni. And that's the
Mhm.
COVID pricing. Before that, it was $1,000, and it was
Mhm.
basically exactly the same percentage it worked.
Mhm.
So this is just during COVID. Um, and then the mid tier is 6 payments of $123.
123 times 6. Okay. So that's like 738.
Yep. And then the
Okay.
lowest tier is 20 payments of $47.
Okay. Okay. So it's
So
it's not a
that's
gigant.
yeah.
Okay, I got it.
So it's sort of costing you about 1,000 to do the lowest tier. Wait,
Yeah.
20 payments? No, 2,000. So it's either 500 or 2,000 kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did the conversion change much once you did the COVID discount?
No, exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe
So
after it's over, you should go up to 4,000 or
no,
2,000 or something.
I'll just go back to the price point was 997 for instant access, or 2,000 for the long haul type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In sort of related news, so I bought that Mastering Convert Kit course from Brennan Dunn
Oh
last
yeah.
Black Friday, as I've
Okay.
mentioned multiple times.
Yeah.
He's publishing more stuff. Like, it blows my mind. He's like, I've been getting updates on this thing that I bought a year ago. Just not clockwork, but just sporadically I'm getting this product I bought that was like, this is pretty cool. And just like more and more and more stuff getting added to it. And he's not getting any more money from me. It's like, I already paid my $300. That's all, that's all it is.
We're having sound issues today.
Oh, there we go. Now I
Yeah,
can hear
it's
you.
for some reason it automatically puts the input volume down just randomly. Anyway, that's weird. What I
Yeah.
was saying is, I guess maybe his plan is just keep on adding value, and more people will buy it, and he's selling other stuff. It's part of a funnel. Maybe you're so interested you'll buy new stuff. I mean, who knows?
I think that's probably what it is. Because like now, the next time he has a product that looks like maybe I'm interested, maybe I'm not. Like if I get an email that's like, hey, this is like the super early deal, I'm going to be adding to it. Like, I'll probably just leap on it immediately.
I want to apologize to you and to everyone that I've been a bit grumpy this show. I think it's because of the living situation of like having these three kids knocking on the door all the time.
You seem fine. I mean, I've
Okay.
been talking, I've been doing like 80% of the talking, but you haven't seemed bad at all.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about any, can I give an update on Nugget or something like that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So Nugget, super interesting. There's been 350 people start the boot camp. So 350 people have started, and my stats say 42 people have finished. Now, 10 of those people were already just friends and stuff. So really 32 people have finished out of 340.
The boot camp.
The boot camp. And what's interesting is I've had 3 sales from 30 people. So it's essentially 10. If we look at it that way, it's 10% conversion from the end of the funnel, right? That's right, isn't it? 3 is 10%. Yeah. Okay. Wait, 3 times by 10 is 30. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So it's like you're getting 10% of the people who start finish, 10% of those buy the next thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that is interesting.
So what I need to do is Matteo, who has basically followed everything that the boot camp said and everything that the academy said, and he is just nailing it. What I need to do is a video with him, just talking through his journey, how he discovered Nugget, and the choices he's made, and how he got to the point that he is right now, and just put that either probably halfway through, or at the end of the course. And I think that will basically fix the conversion issue and mean that a lot more than 3 people out of 300 people will end up buying. I'm imagining it'd probably be more like, if 300 people are in, it'd probably bring 10% conversion to the top line, I think is what it would do.
I could see that.
Yeah.
What was his project again?
Well, he's done exactly what I've said, which is to hyper iterate, test lots of ideas, and fail fast, and talk to a lot of people. And where he's got to now, so he's gone through a few different phases of projects, but where he's got to now is he's got to something where people are just like, yes, I want this. Shut up and let me give you my money.
Nice.
And that product is called Hey Hi. And basically, you get to someone's website, and like, I guess a little hand kind of waves at you, and you click it, and then you're instantly in a live video chat with them.
Oh, okay, that
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and even the brand was using the Nugget branding, how to come up with a brand methodology. Um, so yeah, he's already got, I think about 4 people who've committed to paying, and he's just about to release it. He's building it using no code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great. So I think his story would help sales. That's what I need to do.
Another one that might. I remember because I just edited episode 24 recently,
Hmm.
and you talked about Tiny Pilot.
Yeah, Tiny Pilot. Now he didn't go through Nugget. He just sort of spoke with
Okay.
me privately. Um,
Okay.
so I don't think I could use him because but we have had a number of conversations, and let's I mean, I don't know if you can attribute it to me, but what I will say is that he was he he was kind of struggling for a couple of years, and then we started speaking, and now everything's going great. But I don't know if you can attribute that to me. It might just be coincidence.
Or it might just be the future super premium tier of Nugget.
Maybe. But yeah, so and the thing is I I always think in my mind of this symbolism of an entrepreneur like pushing a mattress across a carpeted floor. It's like
Okay, that's
it's like
interesting.
it's like it's like if you really try and push it and you pull it, you can like move it across that floor. But there's very little flywheel effect. There's very little momentum there. It's just bloody hard to move it. And as soon as you stop pulling, it stops moving. And if you look at the boot camp numbers, like it gets to 350 for the time that I'm doing stuff, and then as soon as I
Hmm.
stop doing stuff, there is zero growth. The mattress stopped moving. Um, but all I need to do is to like put more effort into it, to do the product hunt launch, to go on podcasts, to do a whole bunch of stuff, and then that 350 will turn into 3,500. It's just like
Yeah.
you do stuff and stuff happens, and so that's what you need to do. Like, yeah, totally. Do that YouTube tour is a great idea.
Yeah. I mean, in my case, I feel like I'm doing stuff constantly because I have to. I'm basically on the hook for tutorial videos. If I go like a whole month without making any videos, like it would be bad. Um,
But that's not the stuff I'm talking about.
I know, I
That's the
know.
creation. The stuff I'm talking about is like pulling the mattress is marketing stuff. It's not building stuff. You know what
Okay, well, I feel like I'm pulling 2 mattresses then.
I mean? Yeah. Well, that is a bit of an issue with a content-based business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's not like these talks are pretty easy for me, unless the editing is crazy one time or something. Like this takes no more than as much time to actually have the talk in total for like all the editing and publishing and like making the site, everything else. But
Here's the thought.
making tutorials, like editing screencasts, that's kind of,
Here's the thought.
yeah.
Um, in one way, you could look at Alchemist Camp and you could say that in comparison to what I've done with the boot camp, Alchemist Camp is kind of feature complete in a similar kind of a way. Like
Hmm.
it's the beginning of understanding Elixir and all the sort of boot campy level of Elixir stuff. So, do you actually need to do new videos, or could you put all of your effort into marketing for a few months and just all of your effort into the top of the funnel, bringing new people in to the beginning of that whole Elixir thing?
Um, I I still would need to make more premium videos for sure because people still want to learn stuff, and I don't have. I mean, most of my videos are free. The reason why they are mostly free though is because the videos are also my primary marketing method.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like making free videos, I can just see its direct correlation between the number of videos that are freely available on YouTube and the growth of the channel and the growth of my email list and growth of like everything. But yeah, I do need to kind of find some additional tactics. I can't just kind of get settled into this grind and not innovate on it at all.
Andy Deister in Nugget has done so well with SEO stuff. He's getting like, I think it's like 100,000 people a day type of thing.
Is it so? Is it some sort of technical SEO, or he's got like some kind of database of content that he's exposing to the web
I
in a
think
clever way, or is it content marketing?
You know what? I don't actually know. I'd have to get into that a bit deeper with him.
Okay.
I don't actually know, but I wonder. I don't know. I'm. I don't know why I keep on trying to solve your problems today. I'm sorry.
Oh well, I've been asking questions. That's why. But
it's not my place really. But
sure it is. This is a mastermind. We're supposed to ask each other for advice on whatever pressing problems.
But with okay, can I talk about Slider for the Roblox game real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have a massive amount of time. I'm going to have to head pretty quick. But so one thing that I didn't understand about the Roblox client server paradigm, and it didn't make sense to me, and it still doesn't make complete sense to me, but it sort of makes sense to me. So you have a server, and basically the server is pretty much exactly the same as what's happening on the client. So I was trying to wrap my head around, okay, if I attribute points to a user on the server, because it's okay, Roblox is a bit like a JavaScript web browser. Like anyone can look at the code on the client, so they can basically hack it, do whatever you want. So when you are attributing points, you have to do that server side, even though it's basically the same thing. But they can't see any scripts that are specifically specified as server-based scripts. So so even though it's all happening at the same time, on the server, in Slider, I've got people running around little conveyor belts and jumpers and stuff like that, and that's where I'm calculating how much XP they earn. I'm doing the exact same thing on the server and the client, but the server script is the one that says, okay, now I'm going to store it into the database. The client can't do that. But where I was getting confused was, okay, if I do something on the server, how do I tell the client? And what you do is you essentially, it just does it. That's the really weird thing about this. So the client just automatically has what the server has. Does that make sense? So
it's got some kind of syncing that they built into it.
Yeah. So let's say, for example, on the server, I add a new folder into the player, and in that folder, I put a cache value of 10. That is now accessible and viewable on the client. I don't have to say anything, which is really weird to me.
That is weird.
And that propagates to all clients.
You know what? That kind of reminds me of using Meteor.js in 2013.
Right.
It's like somehow you just mini Mongo is just magically everywhere.
Right. And I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was asking questions on the forum. I was like, okay, how do I propagate data to the clients? And everyone was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because they're all these kids, they don't know any other programming paradigm. You know what I mean? It's the only thing they know.
Right.
So
you just seem like this ignorant old guy.
I'm like, how? No, but how do I get that data to the client? They're like, what the fuck? It's already there. What are you talking about? And I'm like, how is it already there? What? So that was just a really interesting sort of paradigm concept.
Nice.
Yes.
So how close is the game?
Oh, to release?
Yeah.
Well, my builder guy who I hire is getting married this week. So I was aiming for October 1, but it's probably going to be October 15, I would imagine.
Well, that's still soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Look forward to hearing it. Yeah, so I guess we should do goals then, since you got to run.
Okay.
This week I'm going to continue doing lots of stuff with my iPad, playing around with it, having fun. My main goal is I'm going to go for 5 videos this week.
Wow.
No other goals, just get 5
premium
videos
or free?
Out. Total.
Okay, yeah.
So it'll probably be 3 premium, 2 free.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm just going to go for 5 videos. see if I can do that.
Oh, that's your goal.
Yeah.
Okay. My goal is to integrate a, a, a basic data manager, like a database abstraction type thing, so into Slider, so that people can own, so that I can save their XP and their level, and then also make it so that the challenges get unlocked at the correct time. So that's my goal. Yeah.
Cool.
Saving
All
data
right.
and unlocking challenges correctly.
Well, I hope all goes well with the fires, or I hope they stop and
Yeah.
your family does okay.
Hmm.
Sounds like definitely a tough time out there.
Thank you. Well, I hope you have a fantastic time with your iPad, and
Will
I'll
do.
see you on the next reactor.
All right. See you then.